Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have in the top left spawning as our blue Terran player playing for Team Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And in the bottom right of this map, oh no, it is a Terran player as well. Sporting the red colors, playing for Team Kaizi Gaming. It is Oliveira. The player formerly known as Time recently actually has gotten a name change, or I guess requested a name change, or however you change it. I don't actually know what the process is of name changes within StarCraft. I'd reckon you just message the guy on Wikipedia and go, hey, my name isn't Time anymore, I'm now Oliveira. You change your Battle.net account name, and whenever someone calls you Time, you flame them on Twitter. I feel like that's probably the greatest way to change name in StarCraft. I know Special made like a little bit of an announcement when he did it. Is there any other high-profile ones that I can think of? Not really. I think Special was the biggest one, because it was Major for so long and then just turned into Special. Like, whoa, that's a big brand you're losing there, but definitely stuck. Oh, Spirit, of course, and Soul. Ratata and Vanya, yeah. Starting to come back up. Really like the name Vanya as well. Still surprised we saw that name change to Ratata, which is a Pokemon for people that are unaware. Alright, what do we have over here? We have a reactor after Reaper coming out of ByuN. And usually this exposes you to a little bit of risk. So we see that he hasn't scouted around. The thing with a reactor before a second Reaper is that if you're being proxy 2-rexed, it can be kind of difficult because you only have a single Reaper for a very long time. Your Hellion won't be out for a while, so there's going to be like 2-3 Reapers out of your opponent. You have one Reaper, that usually kind of sucks. But if you don't get proxy 2-rexed, you're usually fine because the reactor finishes, you can start 2 Reapers at a time and actually increases your production. It is an investment in the future that if you get away with it, which ByuN did, you are always ahead, basically. Like, we can take a look at this. There's going to be 3 Reapers at the exact same time, but at that point, Oliveira still needs to build a reactor. Well, ByuN already has that reactor and is just an entire 36 seconds ahead of his opponent, which allows for more Marine production or even something like more Reaper production. We have a second barracks on the way. Okay, this is extremely uncommon as a build order opener. Wow. What? It's going to be a 5 Reaper triple Hellion here, by the way. So yeah, the reactor definitely putting in some work right now. This is very odd. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that. That is extremely... This is one of these builds you don't really see at all. The 5 Reaper 3 Hellion is rare, but it gets played every now and again. I've never seen the follow-up be another barracks, though. It's gonna go in some type of 2-on-1-ish build order. There's a mine there. Don't think that ByuN wants to engage into this. No, don't think he does. Not yet, at least. Cyclone is about halfway done. Is that going to be in time before the next 2 Reapers arrive? I think it might be, right? What's that, 10 seconds? Might be a 3-second window. That's going to be it. Okay, here come the triple Hellion. Now only 2 Hellions after the mine killed one. Good fight so far here for ByuN, keeping 2 of his Reapers alive with very low HP. At the same time, 2 new Reapers come in. Cyclone has popped off and will start dealing a lot of damage. So at the end of the day, completely even trade here. Both players losing 4 units total. A Hellion for Oliveira, as well as a mine and 2 Reapers and 2 Hellions and a Reaper on the side of ByuN. So a small little trade here, nothing too crazy. The nice thing for ByuN is that he got some info on what his opponent is doing. I mean, he saw the Cyclone over there, and that tells him something at least. Doesn't tell him a whole lot, but at least that there's a Cyclone. And that's nice. Follow-up is indeed going to be some type of 2-on-1 play, but with a Raven, it seems like. I guess? I'm not... Oh, maybe these Factory and the Starport are going to swap over once they're both done. Then we'll see the double medevac production start, and we can see a tank immediately as well. Still has some map control here, ByuN that is, as he starts moving out again. Hellion's going to take a shot to the face. Stays alive with 1 HP, 2 HP. Has 2 kills. Triple Reaper 1 Cyclone is the dominant force right now on the map. There is nothing that can beat this army that is out, that is mobile and can do something. So map control firmly in the hands of ByuN, and that's going to remain like that for a little bit. The problem for Oliveira here is that he doesn't really have any clue whatsoever what's actually going on. Like he has no clue about that second barracks or what the follow-up is going to be. That there's a third base being built on the low ground in position. Reapers tried to move in there. I think they killed a Marine and took 1 tank shot damage, but didn't actually end up dying, so that's nice. Double medevacs are about to move out as Stimpaks finished up. Okay, here we go. Boost away. Auto turrets are gonna come in though. There's gonna be 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. 3 workers go down and 2, 3, maybe even 4 more are going to fall against this auto turret. As this Raven, it's gonna remain on 3 kills. This bad boy probably has 4. Yeah, 7 kills total. Double drop is gonna be heading in. Is there anything in position in the main? I think the answer is no. Well, except for the Cyclone and the 4 Marines, of course. They are actually in the correct position as well. They're completely on the edge. Triple Reaper. Ooh, they could jump into the main base, actually. That would be pretty significant here. And despite the fact that ByuN lost a bunch of workers, he's still okay in the worker count. I wonder what he's waiting for. Maybe for combat shield? No, that's too far out, right? Can't actually wait for that. Maybe he wants to wait for his opponent to move out to try and establish a third base, and then his plan is to go in. So 3 more workers will end up going down. But this was, yeah, this is really good, I think, for Oliveira. All this extra damage. But now we're gonna see what will truly happen, because this is going to be the banger. Once Oliveira decides to take his third base, I think these 2 bad boys are just gonna boost in the main base and try their best. There is still a tank, there are 4 Marines, there's a Cyclone as well, and there's turrets on the way, so perhaps it's not going to be quite as easy as I thought it was going to be. Double Vikings, Raven is out. Like, if we're thinking truly in just like the TVT matchup in major assets, I think that Oliveira is very far ahead. He has 2 Ravens, he has 4 tanks, he has Vikings out, so air control is his, Raven superiority is his, tank superiority is his. He has a good setup with the turret. Eco is completely fine as well, so I'd really just give this game to Oliveira at this point in time. Like, I don't really see a way for ByuN to do anything meaningful in the next, well, minute and a half or so, 2 minutes, except expanding more. Like, his answer to this should probably just be more, I want a faster fourth base, I want more cash than my opponent. And, well, there's no real straightforward path to that except just getting more bases. 1-1 is finishing here for Oliveira, and we'll finish up for ByuN pretty soon as well. I think it's just like 10-12 seconds behind. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful infantry weapons level 1, as well as the infantry armor level 1 popping up there on that right side. Armory finishes up immediately for ByuN. His opponent not quite as timely with the armory, and thus gets a small delay in the follow-up upgrades. Cyclones fight each other, and, well, both of them die. A couple of Hellions also go down. There's a Reaper in there. This is a massive Doom drop. This is an interesting style of TVT that ByuN is playing here, completely devoid of any Ravens whatsoever. Says, okay, I'm going to only focus on getting tanks out and Marines, and that's going to be it. Raven Viking, not for me, my friend. Medevac Marine tank. This is a very, very powerful way to play. That often runs out of steam fairly fast. Here comes a big boost in towards the main base. And Vikings are in position. And this is the reason why we don't see this all that often. It's because if there's Viking in position, life is just really difficult. And medevacs don't fight well against Vikings because, well, medevacs don't have an auto attack. They can only heal. They can't even heal each other. So the moment your opponent has that air lead and there is a good defensive setup, I think any direct engagement is just going to be a loss for ByuN from this point on out. He'll need to find ways to go around. He'll need to find somehow some way to get things done. He's going to be building 3 more barracks, and we've seen this before out of ByuN, where he'll go into 8 reactor marine production. So he swapped the initial barracks of the tech lab as well, and what he does is just continues building marines till the end of time. Pure marine tank, 16 marines at a time, bam, bam, bam. And yeah, double expanding behind this. He kind of pretends, in a way, like his opponent is playing mech. Now, this sounds stupid, but it actually makes sense. Against mech, one of the things you often want to do is expand very rapidly, because your opponent can't move out anyway, majority of the time with mech, because it makes them too vulnerable. ByuN, when he plays this style, does the same thing. He says, hey, if we're fighting in the middle of the map and you're unsieged, I have a crap ton of marines and I should be fine. But right now, he actually only has 2 marines more. he's down 3 tanks, and he doesn't have Vikings or Raven. So I'm not entirely seeing the advantage that he currently has, because Oliveira just seems to be in a better spot. There is going to be a little bit of a base trade here. 2 upgrades have finished up for ByuN. Is there a tank at home? There's 1 tank at home. Don't think that's going to be enough to stop all of those Marines. Sensor tower, of course, in position would allow these units to move into the correct spot to defend as well. Here comes the stim. Oliveira, however, is paying attention and will shoot this at these Marines from a distance. Does mean that this isn't a 200 supply army, because there's a lot of units at home, and that could perhaps allow ByuN to clean it up. Kind of in between the main army and the reinforcements right now. Problem is, without air control, you never know when you can engage into it, so you continuously need to scan. 78 Marines. How many is over here at home? Oh, that's almost, what is it, like 20 or so? So it's gonna be 81 Marines against 47-ish Marines, if ByuN decides to attack into this. Problem is, of course, attacking into tank lines is always a very scary thing. It's not something I'd necessarily recommend. Ooh, this is another way to go about it. He's scanning forward. He says, hey, maybe I can attack into your third. At the same time, we see Oliveira actually going for it. Half of his tanks unsieged, though, as he was moving forward rapidly. These Marines will be capable of cleaning all of that up. This was a really good engagement for ByuN. He was just waiting for his moment, and the moment arrived. Loses 15 SCVs, but has a lot of extra command centers on the way. Still has the ability to reproduce these SCVs due to the size of his bank. And yeah, I'm surprisingly okay with how this is going for ByuN. Like I said, 16 Marines at a time here. Look at that. It's insane Marine production. He's the only player in the entire professional scene that plays like this as well. Everyone else is into the Viking Raven, and ByuN says, no, I don't actually want to do that. I hate Viking Raven. I want to build Marines and micro them. And that's what he does. He literally just invented his own style to kind of circumvent the problem. The problem of having to play Viking Raven in like some weird mirror scenario. This wasn't quite an ideal drop. Actually ends up losing a lot of supply. Vikings, Ravens, tanks and Marines were in position and kill a crap ton of units. Tank count 9 against 8 in favor of ByuN, actually, as we have 2 more orbitals on the way and a command center moving over towards the bottom side to create a 5th base. Oliveira already has a 5th base up. It's going to turn into a planetary. I do believe that ByuN's economy is going to be slightly better due to these extra orbital commands, of course. 3-3 finishing up soon. We have advanced ballistics coming in as well. So that's going to allow liberators to push these tanks back. You have air control. How are you going to kind of use that? And getting air control is one thing, but then actually making good use of it is a second thing. Uh-oh. Here comes a drop. Boost in towards the main base. Oliveira with a very quick response once more. Medevac doesn't get to completely unload, but it's close enough. Vikings do get a little bit of a beating as this drop enters the main base right now. ByuN dealing a surprising amount of damage. Getting the +2 here would be nice, but I don't think that's going to be a possibility. Vikings end up landing, as a decent chunk of Vikings will get taken out. And trading-wise, I think this was fine for ByuN once more. Takes out 11 SCVs and actually trades a little bit, which is, I guess, what you always want to be doing if you're producing 16 Marines at a time. +2 vehicle weapons for ByuN's about to finish up as well, as he moves into an aggressive position here that seemingly is out of range of this tank. Surely I thought this was in range. Holy crap. These guys are so good at knowing what the exact range of the tank is. Look at this. Look at the line over here. He's almost crossing the line, but not quite. Holy cow. This is a pure Marine run by that tried to go for a snipe on this command center, but is going to get stopped. That means this CC gets to stay alive. 5th base is a planetary. You have a 6th base flying over towards the top rather than towards the middle. Somewhat surprising. Okay, here comes ByuN once again. Lots of Marines, tanks moving forward too. And I think this planetary right now is toast. A couple of SCVs also go down, but especially losing the planetary there is very, very big. Oliveira already has a different 5th base setup, and ByuN is also already trying to stop that. Starts fighting this sensor tower that just finished. This is the SCV that just finished building a house, and then he's like a freaking truck run into the house. Like, no! Spend all my life on this! Explodes with it as well. Freaking single tank harassment is not okay. Absolutely not okay. 6 base on the way here for ByuN. It's going to be an orbital. Double starports now coming in. Second armory as well. Probably wants to start transitioning into some type of air. So he plays a game of getting ahead in economy by having this fast-moving army. Very heavy on the Marines. Denying your opponent's base. And then with that eco lead, trying to make something happen. But perhaps he doesn't even need to transition out of this, because 193 supply against 159. This isn't necessarily a winning position, but it's a very scary position here for Oliveira in that this is now in between 3 bases. You need to kind of juggle units in between those 3 bases. Liberator should be used to deal with this problem. At the same time, left side base. What is here to defend? Well, not a whole lot. 3 lips, that's it. Planetary, of course, is going to help. No Medivacs in position to deal with it. Here comes the stim, I can only imagine. Yep, there we go. And that's going to be the first Liberator popped, second and the third, all going down. This Planetary will fall as well. That will bring the base count for Oliveira back to 4. That means we're currently 4 against 6 bases, if I'm counting correctly. 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. With the 7 pretty much being free to take as well. Every single trade right now that's going to go down will be a good one, as the mineral income is about 3 to 1. 3,000 minerals coming in for ByuN against a mere 900 for Oliveira, and that needs to change very quickly. There is still a powerful air force, and there's plenty of tanks that I don't think our Chinese Terran player can actually die. Interference Matrix is helping out as well. A couple of Marines do get shelled down by these tanks. This wasn't a great breaking maneuver. If anything, this was pretty darn weak for how bad this army was. I feel like too many Marines end up dying there. And I think Oliveira actually just needs to take it very slow and say, hey, I want to go for a split map scenario where I work with my air control, and then I'll take it from there. I actually believe that will be the correct call here. Vikings trying to kind of mirror the movement of his opponent. This is pure Marine. 83 Marines. It's the counter to tank seems to just be getting more and more Marines. It reminds me of the meme with the ghost. Like the Terran army in Terran vs. Zerg is really difficult to control. You need a control groups for your ghosts to deal with the infestors, for your ghosts to deal with the brood lords, for your ghosts to deal with the etc, etc. It's the same here, except with Marines. Like, ByuN literally just has been building Marines. 189 Marines have gone down already, and another 50 are giving their life for the Dominion. As they don't really achieve very much. Every now and again he has one of these fights that's an absolute fluke. But then the next fight after is almost always correct. 225 Marines have gone down already in this game. 18 minutes in. The first Ravens are coming out, so it's going to be Raven, Tank, Marine. Absolutely no care in the world about the Vikings. And the funny thing is that it makes some sense in a way. Now, I'm not advocating for a pure Marine Raven Tank style with 2 Medivacs, but this is an army that is kind of oh my god, this is an insane fight. No, it's not. Well, four tanks against what? 9-10 Marines. Another Liberator gets taken out. Another Liberator gets taken out. I think these trades are okay-ish if eventually it leads to a break. Now, what I was gonna say is that all these armies are disposable throwaway armies. And the Raven kind of adds on to that. You just send them in, throw interference matrices, which allows your bio tank to fight better. Your opponent has maybe, what, 20, 30 supply tied up in air units, in Vikings and Liberators, especially the Vikings, which don't contribute in a direct fight. So here we go with those Ravens. Interference matrices are dropping here, tanks moving forward. And yes, all the air units are gone, but Vikings don't actually shoot down at all. The Marines are breaking through, tanks in a good position as well, and yeah, this is exactly how I was imagining it. Is the Viking perhaps an overrated unit in this matchup? Is the Viking simply not useful? Sure, the Ravens will die eventually, and probably the trades, resource loss-wise, aren't great for ByuN, but the amount of map control that ByuN has and can exert with this composition, I think kind of makes up for it. 1, 2, 3 more lips perhaps get gunned down. Okay, it's gonna end up being 2 as 1 survives with 5 HP. This tank is shooting down a couple more of those Marines. Resources lost looking pretty okay for Oliveira, who needs to be figuring out how to establish a 6th base in the near future. And that's going to be quite difficult, because the moment you get a 6th base, you're going to be opening up yourself to a lot of multitasking again. And that's the one thing that ByuN has been doing rather well. 2 Ravens are being built. Or sorry, yeah, 2 more are being built, 2 are already out. So once again, we could have some potential interference matrices trying to deny these higher tank numbers. Here goes ByuN. Oh my god, just barely misses the scan on this tank position. 2 tanks moving forward even further. There's a lot of Liberators here. We should be capable of helping. Oliveira not quite moving over in time. Planetary in maybe a little bit of trouble. Okay, here comes the jump on top of those Libs. Final Lib once again survives with 5 HP. This bad boy survives with 5 HP as well. And a bunch of tanks end up dying. Not the world's greatest engagement here for ByuN, as he's already looking over at a different area right now, and that's going to be the area over here in the middle. Is there any Vikings? No, there's not. These tanks are once again gonna get absolutely destroyed by these Marines. Marines dropping in. There's no Marine force to assist here, and that could be an issue. As ooh, well, I don't know about this fight here, ByuN. This seems a little bit much. Yeah, I think he overstepped his boundary a tiny tad there. He thought he could break this tank lip line, but I don't think that was ever really going to be possible. And right now it's going to be 46 Marines against 35. So Marine count is moving closer. 1 tank in the far back. Trying to deny a refinery and is not going to survive. Poor guy. Look at how bruised and battered these Marines are. Absolutely blasted. Hate to see it. Would love to see ByuN take like one of these bases. Basically a more forward base. Going for a move like that, I think would be huge. Absolutely huge. Now we get these aggressive rotations here, and we just have the constant movement of tanks, Liberators, Vikings, Marines, all of that good jazz. Don't quite think Oliveira is completely ready for the attack on the bottom side. 2 interference matrices are going to be ready. That's going to be 1, that's going to be 2, and here comes the Marine split. First tank is not down yet. No tanks are falling. Number 1 goes down here, but this was once again a very, very poor fight for ByuN. And this time, I believe he might actually lose a little bit of his map control due to this. His tank count is currently at 3. His Marine count is the same as his opponent's. Yes, of course, he's going to have a greater production here and still has better income as well. But this is scary. This is very, very scary for ByuN. 46 Marines against 35. 2 tanks are in position, but Libs quickly sharking forward here, looking for a prey. And they find these tanks, get picked up immediately. But this push is coming. It is inevitable. Here comes the Marines. Oh, anti-armor missile hits in a big way. That's -2 for all of these bad boys. And that means that Oliveira... Well, no, never thought he was going to win this fight. But supplies do lie, apparently. And even the anti-armor missile lies here. Vikings... so much supply in those Vikings. I guess it kind of skews the perspective that you have. Still a lot of Marines available for ByuN. 26 Vikings being taken out right now. 132 supply against 142. And this actually ends up going okay for ByuN because he still has the superior potential economy. Right now he's not actually mining more than his opponent. But he has so many orbital commands. 10 orbital commands against 5. And he has a base over here that can turn into a planetary worst case scenario. That the moment ByuN stabilizes, he's going to be capable of getting a lot of money. And I don't really see how Oliveira is going to kind of engage with that problem here. There is 2 interference matrices ready, and there's just 1 tank here for Oliveira. Marine count is 38 to 26. I think this is a winning fight here for ByuN if he wants to take it. Doesn't seem to want to take it. Topside base here turning into a planetary. There's a Liberator in this spot that wants to deny this base for a little bit longer. Here comes ByuN. Tank count of 5, Raven count of 2. Marine count of 52. That's where the money is. 477 Marines have been lost already in this game. And a couple more here as this tank goes to work. Oh, anti-armor actually hits in a big, big way. Marine flank not coming in yet. Can we stim these? Yes, we can. Did the Air Force basically just got wiped. There's no more Ravens on the side of Oliveira. ByuN's pushing in once again. We've seen this before. He takes 1 good fight, continues pushing in, and then loses his little bit of momentum that he just built up. Resources lost still heavily in favor of Oliveira. But I'm not seeing how the Chinese Terran player is going to take this topside base or this bottom side base. I don't even quite understand how this base currently is being taken. It seems like a defensive rotational nightmare to actually defend that. Like, if you think about how the aggressive rotation works, it moves over here. Getting a defense in this position for Oliveira will be close to impossible unless you have control of the middle. So I think he needs to play for control in the middle, but I just don't think he has the tank count for it. He does not have the vision for it, and he's going to spread himself way too thin everywhere, meaning that Marines, once again, are going to be the dominant force in this match. 62 against 22. Here we go. ByuN moving in once more. No planetary to back up these two tanks, and that means that this CC is going to be forced to lift. Sure, topside base gets taken out. That's annoying, but losing one of your own bases is way worse for Oliveira because he already is mining from less bases. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. So mining overall right now, 2,300 a minute against 1,600. I would love for this bottom base. Yeah, this bottom base right now is absolutely king here for ByuN. Now, this is a rotational move that I actually really like. So kind of giving up this bottom side base, saying, hey, that's hard to defend, but I have tanks over here, and I can just control this middle part with the rest of my tanks. So you don't spread yourself too thin, and you still get an extra base, which is also an important base, because it's one of the two neutral bases. In the end, you're always going to get this mining base as well. So if it goes to a full split map scenario, you're probably going to be fine. I'm a huge fan of this move. However, the question right now is, are there enough tanks here to defend this? There's 4 tanks. There's 2 interference matrices. There's no Vikings to deal with those Ravens. That means that 2 out of the 4 tanks will not be working in tandem with the rest of the army. Anti-armor is going to connect. That means ByuN needs to wait a little bit right now. Cannot fight with an anti-armor missile on the one unit that he loves building. More than 550 Marines have been killed already. 44 tanks have gone down the drain, as well as 13 Vikings. 69 SCVs have been killed. Nice. As this Liberator goes for a couple of extra SCV kills. Bottom side is being defended. I actually think this is a good defense. And now I think ByuN can pull the trigger. After seeing this move downstairs, he can either move down completely with his entire Marine army, or I think he probably could have broken it, honestly. Orbital command is going to get taken out. This is an issue. I think ByuN actually needs to go, and he's gonna go. He's gonna go. Interference matrix says, here we go. No, here we don't go. No need, says ByuN. Maybe there's a need. 2 tanks get taken out. Marines dealing a lot of damage as a final interference matrix from the very far in the back is going to hit that tank, but this fight felt okay here for Oliveira, who now has denied his opponent's bottom base, is mining from his own topside base. And what advantage does ByuN still have, except the orbital command advantage? Has 4 more orbitals, so can drop a lot of mules, has infinite scans. He's not using it though, he's not using it. Can we get a scan? There we go. Okay, this is good splits. Very good splits out of ByuN. I'm not so sure if it's going to be enough though. Liberators coming in clutch as well. Where's the rest of the army? There's 3 tanks over here. There's a lot of Marines stimming forward, but they don't quite seem to be there in time. No Medivacs to heal this army. GG gets called. Oliveira actually wins the game. Holy crap. 28 minutes in. The unit's loss tab of 63,000 against 50k. So a 13k difference. Yet still being so close. Kind of shows that ByuN had mined way more in this game already. And just ends up barely losing. 678 Marines have gone down. The ultimate counter to the tank. But in the end, the tank, Raven, Viking, Medivac player ends up winning. Just slightly more efficient. And securing this base, denying the opponent's bottom base a little bit too much. Alright, my friends, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to like button, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.